In this video, I'm going to compare the LG K92 with the Apple iPhone 12. Let's take a look. The main thing that both of these phones share in common is that they're 5G phones. So I want to compare the low to mid-range LG 5G phone with the flagship iPhone 12. Let's take a look. So the first thing that comes to mind when comparing these is going to be the price. You can find the LG K92 5G used for less than $200, so it makes it an excellent 5G phone. Just with the price, if you want something with Android and a 5G, you can get this phone for really cheap. The iPhone 12 brand new is still around $800 and not that much less if you get it used. So right off the bat, the LG wins because of the price. Very intriguing. The overall size, the LG K92 is 6.5 inches tall, 3 inches wide, 0.33 inches thick. iPhone 12 is 5.7 inches tall, 2.8 inches wide, 0.29 inches thick. So the overall smaller device is the iPhone 12. For the weight, the LG phone weighs in at 7.13 ounces. iPhone 12 also comes in very lightweight at 5.78 ounces. So the overall lighter, smaller device will be the iPhone 12. When it comes to build quality, the LG phone is pretty much a plastic device all around, which is okay at this price point of less than $200. The iPhone 12 has a premium build quality and it better have for $800. But at the end of the day, what does it really come down to is what you use this phone for and how practical it is. So let's take a deeper look. So one thing that stands out to me also is that for the SIM card functionality, the iPhone 12 wins because it has that embedded eSIM, so you can have two different cell phone numbers, two different data plans, and swap them in and out. Great for travelers and people that just want to have different options for data services. And the iPhone 12 will pretty much work anywhere in the world. The LG K92, it's found on prepaid, and it could be you found for a super low price, but you can't use it everywhere. The iPhone 12 could be found on and be used pretty much when it's unlocked on every carrier in the world. So the iPhone 12 wins in that round. You don't get any type of dust and water resistance on the LG K92, but I'm sure it'll resist some splashes here and there. While the iPhone 12 has full water resistance at IP68, you could dunk it in water for 6 meters up to 30 minutes. Now for the screen, you get a really big 6.7 inch display on the LG K92. It's an IPS LCD display, while the iPhone 12 has a smaller 6.1 inch display, Super Retina OLED. You get 84% screen to body ratio on the LG. You get a little bit more on the iPhone 12 at 86% screen to body ratio. When it comes to resolution, you're getting a little bit less on the LG. It's at 1080 by 2400, while the iPhone 12 is 1170 by 2532. When you break it down to PPI, you get 393 in the LG K92. It's not too bad. It's close to 400. The iPhone 12 is better though. It comes in at 460 PPI density. So the overall better screen is the iPhone 12, although you get a bigger screen on the LG K92. On the software side, you got Android 10 on the LG K92 with LG UI on top. The iPhone 12 is iOS 14, and that'll be upgraded for like at least 5 years. That's one big difference between these devices is the software department. You're not going to get really any type of updates really on the LG K92, especially after LG has shut down its cell phone business. For the foreseeable future, the iPhone 12 will be still usable after 5 years if you care about those iOS updates. One big difference between these devices, they're very usable with their operating systems. Most of the apps are found on both on Android and iOS, except in the department. If you are a person that likes to edit a lot of video and do a lot of video production, I would suggest getting the iPhone 12. You got things like iMovie for free, and also you have specific things for iOS such as iMessage, FaceTime, AirDrop, things like that. If you care about those type of things, then you'll get that on the iPhone 12. But for 99% of people out there that do day-to-day activities, you got the most popular apps on both of these phones. So that's something to keep in mind. For the chipset, the LG has the Qualcomm Snapdragon 695G. And for the iPhone 12, you got the Apple A14 Bionic chip. Both of these are very good chipsets for what they're being used for. They should run pretty much every app out there that's found on either of these phones' app stores. except that the A14 Bionic is the more premium flagship processor, but you won't be disappointed by either of these. For the RAM, you get 6 gigs of RAM on the LG and you get 4 gigs of RAM on the iPhone 12. Both of these amounts of RAM are pretty good for their phones. 6 gigs of RAM on Android is perfectly fine for 99% of people out there. 4 gigs of RAM on the iPhone 12 is perfectly fine. iOS is very good, it utilizes RAM very efficiently, so both of these amounts of RAM will be fine for most people. You shouldn't have any apps closed in the background, and it'll be fine for most people. As for storage, the LG has the advantage of having 128 gigs of internal storage, while the iPhone 12 starts off at 64 gigs of storage. You also have the bonus of the LG having a micro SD card slot. So if you care about storage, the LG has your back, while the iPhone 12 kind of disappoints at $800 and it has only 64 gigs of storage. Next is camera. You get a quad camera setup on the LG. You got a 64 main camera, 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth. iPhone 12 has a dual camera setup, 12 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide. Both of these phones' cameras are very good. Most people like me are not photographers or people really good at taking videos, but if you're outside in ideal conditions, both of these phones will work perfectly fine. Although I'm gonna have to give the edge to the iPhone 12, it just does an overall better job with pictures and video. But it's very nice to see ultra wide on both of these devices, especially considering the price points. You do get 4K video output on both of these phones, so that's pretty good. I say that for most people, you will be satisfied with both of these devices. For the selfie camera, you got a 16 megapixel shooter on the LG, 12 megapixel shooter on the iPhone 12. The video resolution is 1080p on the LG, 4K video on the iPhone 12. Both of these, again, will be fine for most people, so you have to give the edge to the iPhone for the selfie camera. Both phones have stereo speakers, but you get a headphone jack on the LG K92, which is great for a lot of people that still care about the headphone jack, because you need a dongle if you need that function on the iPhone 12. So giving it up to the LG. If you embrace wireless and you do a lot of connections with wireless devices, both of these have your back. You got Bluetooth 5.1 on the LG, 5.0 Bluetooth on the iPhone 12. You're going to connect your wearables such as your smartwatch, your smart bands, your headphones, your wireless headphones, your speakers. Both of these phones will connect to those devices no problem. You got NFC on both of these phones as well. That's mostly reserved for payment systems. You got USB Type-C charging on the LG. You got Lightning charging on the iPhone 12. Now for unlocking these devices and security, you got a side-mounted fingerprint reader on the LG K92, which works just fine. And you got Face ID on the iPhone 12, which also works very, very well. Now talking about battery, you got a 4,000 milliamp battery on the LG K92, while you got a 2815 milliamp battery on the iPhone 12. 4,000 is okay for the LG. You're going to probably need a charge during the day, but it does come with quick charge for 4.0, which is pretty much fast charging. iPhone 12 is really going to be good on battery as well. iOS and iPhones utilize battery milliamps very efficiently, so you can get most of the day with battery, but you probably need a charge too. Luckily, it also has fast charging at 20 watts, 50% charge in 30 minutes. You could also utilize the MagSafe wireless charging as well. So out of these two devices, after going over the specs, which is the better phone? Well, if you had to go based on value, you're gonna have to go with the LG K92, unless you really care about taking videos and certain things on iPhone, such as AirDrop and iMessage and FaceTime and all that stuff. But other than that, if you do every other day activities, you should be fine. They run the most popular apps on both operating systems. You do have some bonuses on the LG, such as a headphone jack, micro SD card, and a higher storage of 128 gigs. So the more premium device is going to be the iPhone, but for practical use, for most people, I think the LG K92 will be just fine. You can get it at a steal for less than $200 compared to the $800 on the iPhone 12. So really think about what things you do on the phone. Both of these should do things very, very well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.